And so without wasting our time, I wish to, first of all, introduce the lecturer, and then I will let Prof to read the citation of the lecturer, as is usually the case. You know. So we have in our midst dietitian Michelle. Sorry, I have a very thick Igbo accent, so if I don't get it, excuse my French. So dietitian Michelle, I wish to welcome you in our class. This is the class of 95 sets of Madonna Senior Secondary School for Science, ETT, Old Students Association. So you're welcome in our midst. I also want to welcome her assistant, dietitian Theodora Ojukwu, who is going to work with us to go along. So you're all welcome to this. And on behalf of the class, I welcome you. As we move along, Prof, I want to hand over to you to go on quickly with the citation. Sorry, before the citation, sorry, I want to call on the president. I'm sorry. The president to give us a 2-minute speech as the president he is. And after that, Prof will then go on with the citation. Presido, if you are here.
Right. Where's the president? I haven't even seen him.
He's here.
He's here, Morgan.
He's AWOL. I haven't seen him.
What do you say I should do?
Are you sure he's not mute?
So we want your brief opening speech, my friend.
Speech about what? Am I the one presenting this stuff?
Look at this guy. Say what to talk.
Bad son of a good mother. Please do your job.
Good job. See, I'm resigning now. I beg. I don't tire. This work, what I give me, whether they pay salary. People are not giving me salary. So wait. So basically, no, I'm really new to all these stuffs. Hold on.
No, we're hearing you. Just make your speech and we'll go on. We're hearing you, so you don't need to touch anything.
Okay. People just sandwich me into this stuff. Okay, I think we're just gonna talk about like Prof told us about what is that again?
Eating for optimum health.
Okay, yeah, eating for optimum health, and from what I'm seeing here,
I told you you need your glasses, man. You need your glasses. You need to get your glasses.
I knew
it. Man, I knew it. I know you won't see it well. Go get your glasses, man.
All right, wait. Are you okay now?
There you go. You should have done that at the very beginning.
These glasses is making me not to even see, sir. I think I'm like you. So, guys, I think we're just going to talk about eating for optimum health. And from what I'm seeing here, the person that we're going to bring, I think she's really qualified to tell us exactly what we need to do to, where is Melanie? People that have a big tummy like Chidume and the rest of them and Maxi, so that they will know what to eat and be healthy, So I think that's just basically what we're going to learn today. And thank you, Prof, for arranging this stuff. Once again, you are, I don't know the English I will use to thank you, but anyhow, Sha, you are too much. So without much this thing, I think we should dig into it and then believe every one of us here have something that we're doing. So we'll just do with it and then face whatever we want to do. So, Prof, over to you. So my video is not even on. Sorry, guys.
It's on. We can see you.
We can see you.
Okay, Prof, let's.
Okay.
Prof, let's go on. So
all right.
We're already pressed for time.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to MS4 flight.
With your camera, you don't need them.
1995. On board is the pilot Michelle Madi, a registered dietitian in Nigeria with a brand name Dietitian Michelle. She is an expert with over 10 years experience in the practice. She's got a lot of clients that she manages their diet. She's a seasoned professional in diet calculation and planning. Michelle is a co-founder of popular Citadel Nutrition Consult Limited and is a proud author of several ebooks on weight loss and management of diabetes. Dietitian Michelle is a member of British Dietetic Association, United Kingdom, and a member of the Nutrition Society of Nigeria. She is a certified diabetes care CIDC professional of the University of Warwick, United Kingdom. Amazing Dietitian Michelle holds a Trinity College, Dublin, certificate in exercise prescription for the prevention and treatment of disease. Amazingly, she is also a certified nutrition professional with specialization in nutrigenomics. She is findable on Instagram and Facebook as Dietitian Michelle. She took down her website to reorganize it very recently, so it's going to come up very soon. I guess the seatbelt has been fastened, so relax as we enjoy the cruise at 5,000 altitude, while our pilot, Michelle Umadi, known as Dietitian Michelle, takes us on this cruise. Have a safe flight. We welcome Michelle Umadi.
Yeah, thank you, Prof, for that citation. Just also recognize Reverend Father Noel. Father Noel is here now. Father Noel, you are welcome. You're right on time. There's another person with Galaxy J4. I don't know.
Who is that?
Okay, so again, so somebody is having a noise in the background. Can we mute our devices, please? Austin,
yeah,
Austin,
if you know you're not going to control your noise, please turn off your microphone so we can hear ourselves.
It should have been me.
Austin, your device.
No, I have a headphone on.
Yeah, you good.
So
I think
you
he's
just
the
have to
person on
mute.
Galaxy J4.
No, but I have a headphone on though.
Okay, that's fine. Okay, so Dietitian Michelle,
hi.
I think you have the floor now. Thank you.
Thank you. I'm sorry I came in late. Network problems.
Okay.
Yeah. Good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
Dr. Ikeria, please, can you share the screen? Because
you're on already. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay, so I have 20 minutes.
Losty, we can't see the screen.
Yeah, she's going to share it now. She's trying to do that.
She asked you to share.
Yes,
I have given her permission.
Okay.
No, I'm using my phone. I couldn't use my laptop. Yeah, it's giving me some problem.
Oh, okay. So you want me to share?
So I'll need you to share your own screen while I talk.
Okay. All right.
All right. Okay, so are they seeing the slide?
No, I'm coming.
Okay. All right.
It's perfect. Losty, can you do a slideshow so that it will be good?
For sure, I've done that.
Perfect.
All right. Thank you very much.
Welcome.
Are we good?
Yeah.
Yes, we are good.
All right. So, okay. So 20 minutes eating for optimum health. Now you're going to hear a lot of eat here because the topic says eating for optimum health. Now I'm not going to waste any of our time to talk about Dietitian Michelle. I think we have spent a lot of time already, so let's just go straight to the point. I divided this presentation into just 5 outlines. Let's go to the second. The outlines. Why do you eat? Have you ever taken time to think about that? When you have a plate of food, do you ask yourself why you are eating? Because when you know why you are eating, it's going to influence a lot of decisions. It's going to influence your food choices. So the first thing I'm going to talk about will be, why do you eat? Then I'll talk about, what do you eat? So when you want to eat, what do you eat? And what makes you eat the way you do? What should you be eating instead? If I'm able to convince you that some of the foods that you're eating are not right, what then will you eat? And when you know what you should eat, how much can you eat? Now let's go straight to why we eat. Why do you eat? There are several reasons why you eat. Sometimes for good reasons, and sometimes for very, very poor reasons. Why do you eat? Before you eat, ask yourself that question. It's going to help you make the right choice. Let me give you some reasons why we eat. The first is food as source of energy. We want energy. We were taught back then in school that when you need energy, you should obtain that from food. And that has been the major problem. Most of us eat to have energy. Most of us eat just to have energy. And that is not enough. Yes, we do need energy. And even children, when they are hungry, it shows in their character. They are sad, they are crying, but food is not just a source of energy. That takes us to the second point, which is what? Food is supposed to be a source of nourishment. When you are hungry, don't just think about eating to have energy. You need protein, you need vitamins, you need minerals, you need antioxidants. That is nourishment. So food is not just for energy, food is also a source of nourishment. Now, these are many other reasons why we eat. Sometimes for good reasons, remember, sometimes for very bad reasons. For leisure, sometimes as a form of refreshment. When you go for parties, when you go to a wedding place, you may not be hungry, but when you're served, you eat. Why? Because it's enjoyment, it's refreshment. How about boredom? How do you handle it? Do you eat when you are bored? That can be another bad reason for eating. Then food availability, so many fast food. Anywhere you turn, you see food. So whether you're hungry or not, so long as there's something attractive there, you want to eat. Another reason there is no good, then psychological, emotional, diabetics, to eat diabetic foods. Those with kidney problems want to eat foods that are renal friendly. Those that are hypertensive want to eat foods that will help them control their blood pressure. So some good reasons, some don't. When you eat, what do you eat? In most cases, we eat foods under these classifications: refined foods, highly refined foods. They are available, they taste nice. We also eat foods that are high in additives. We eat foods that are fatty, then poorly processed foods. Let's take it one at a time. For refined foods, these are some examples of the refined foods. Now look at everything that we have here and look at the few that I have listed. If you think carefully, you will know that you may have taken at least one or two from this group. Refined foods: bread, it's normal; pasta, refined pap; rice, noodles, semo, custard, pizza, meat pies. Just most of our cereals are refined. What are refined foods? They are foods that are devoid of fiber, foods that don't have a lot of nutrients, they don't have a lot of vitamins. It's just the middle parts of the grain that we have there. And those are the kinds of foods that we eat. The risk factors of eating such foods: diabetes, heart disease. Some foods that we are also used to eating are foods that are very high in additives. Many studies suggest that these foods increase risk of what? Cancer. Some foods are what? Bacon, hot dogs. Now, these foods are not necessarily bad, but they are not supposed to be taken on daily basis. They are not foods that we should eat weekly. They are supposed to be occasional foods. Why? Because they contain a lot of additives. They contain artificial things that can result in mutations or changes in our gene, trying to accommodate something different, something that is not natural, and that can now result in cancer. And that is not what we want. So we should not indulge in such foods. Other foods that we also eat, fatty foods. The next slide. Fatty foods, margarines, butter, meat from animal organs. I don't know why at some point, a lot of people were thinking that kidney is healthy. I don't know why. And gizzard just started selling and people were buying in carton. They felt it's a healthy food. But these organ meats are high in cholesterol. They are higher in fat than even the lean meat that we are running away from. So foods that are high in fat can increase one's risk of having heart disease, cardiovascular diseases, even egusi soup. I remember some people would argue, but our forefathers used to eat egusi. And I said, yes, you're correct. Our forefathers ate egusi, but our forefathers were walking to the farm. Our forefathers were dancing. Our forefathers were trekking. They were not driving. So if you want to eat like your forefathers, then you have to be as active as they were. So egusi is not something that I'm going to say don't eat, but I would say you should eat in moderation, maybe once in 3 months. And if it's something that you really enjoy every time, then it's better you modify. Add a lot of vegetables. Banga is also considered a fatty soup. Afang is also considered a fatty soup because the base is mainly oil, and many other soups that we eat. Now, poorly processed foods, we have to be careful around here. And I'm going to be using just soybeans to cite an instance. Soybean is a legume. It's very nutritious. It's rich in protein, but it's high in nutrients. And if it is not well processed, it can result in a kidney damage. So back there when I was working with Jos University Teaching Hospital, the process for processing something like soybean is quite tedious, like 5 different stages, soaking, dehulling. So you can't just buy something like that without knowing the people processing. We want to protect our kidney just so that it doesn't break down, trying to help you, trying to remove the anti-nutrients in the foods that we are eating. So when we buy even packaged foods, we need to be sure that these people are following the FDA guidelines, the recommendations in packaging, processing these foods to be healthy. So I'll just run through the 4 things that I talked about that we eat on most occasions: refined foods, fatty foods, foods that are oily, then foods that contain a lot of additives, and foods that are not processed. Now, these are some reasons why we eat the things we are used to eating. Number 1, taste. We don't want to eat something that is not tasty. If it's not tasty, no, you're not going there. Does it taste nice? That is the first question you want to ask. Is it sweet? Is it delicious? Does it taste nice? Does it look good? And yes, you want to eat. Then perception. Perception. This is something that we really need to pay attention to. If you perceive that food to be a poor man's food, even if it's healthy, you find out that you struggle to eat it. I believe that she doesn't eat plantain. On ripe plantain, the color is black. And it looks like poor people's food. Habits, upbringing, egusi without plenty vegetables, or we are used to eating rice every Sunday. We are used to eating bread for breakfast. We are used to, so habits, we are not used to it. It's normal. Tea and bread, breakfast, cereals, nothing else. Upbringing, then class, high class. We feel that there are some foods that are just meant for some set of people. Then there are foods that are also meant for the lower class of people. If it's nutritious, it should be eaten regardless of class. Then convenience. This is now a very big problem. Everywhere you turn is a fast food. Anywhere it's everywhere. So you're hungry, you're tired, you're coming back from what is on your mind? Just buy food and eat. There's no time to prepare, no time to cook. So for convenience, we eat most of the things that we eat. Health conditions, like I mentioned earlier, on few occasions. For those who are diabetic, they want to eat diabetic food. For those who are hypertensive, they want to eat something to help them achieve control. And for those who are trying to help their kidneys, they eat renal-friendly diet. So just few occasions, you will see people eating something just to achieve good results. Can we make a switch? Can we switch from what we are used to eating to something different? Is that possible? And why? Is this the right time? I know they used to say that we cannot learn to use our left hand or our right hand when we are old. But when it has to do with nutrition, any time is good. The Chinese proverb that we know says that the best time to plant a tree is 20 years ago. The second best time is when now. So even if you make a switch now, today, there is going to be a lot of change, a lot of good outcomes from it. So the best time to make that switch is when now. And remember, it is 100% your responsibility. You can inherit genes, but you can also beat those genes. So what should you be eating? If we are encouraging or we're saying that refined foods are not good, fatty foods are not good, foods that are not processed well, foods with additives, what should we eat? Number one, natural foods. Let's go natural as much as we can. Yam, cocoyam, plantains, beans, different species of beans. Then grains, a lot of grains, maize, things that we know, natural. Even when you want to buy processed foods, learn to read the labels. When you flip behind, you're going to see ingredients. And if you read the first one, it has granules. Okay, yes, I know that. It has cashew. I know what cashew nuts are. It contains maize. These are natural foods. But when you start to see things like sodium benzoate, phenylalanine, you're seeing tartarazine, color, just know that these are not natural things. It shouldn't even be something you should eat every time. Let's reduce the risk for cancer and kidney problems. Go natural. 80-20 can apply here. It's natural foods. Then 20, we can go with the artificial things. Then whole foods. And why? This can help reduce risk of diabetes and heart disease. Whole foods are rich in vitamins and minerals. Then foods that are nourishing. We shouldn't just eat empty calories. That is even part of the reason people avoid sugar. Not just because it's bad. We say don't take more than 5 cubes of sugar. Don't take more than 4 cubes. Don't take more than 3 cubes. We are giving you the safe quantity, the safe amount to take, because when you take more than that, you're taking in calories that are empty. There is no vitamin. There is no mineral. And some of the foods that we eat, and they are so refined, no protein energy. Let your food contain some nutrients. It's nourishing foods. It's going to help the immunity. Then indigenous foods. They say when you are in Rome, behave like a Romans. I don't know if that will apply 100%, but let's learn to eat foods that are grown in a place where we are from, where we are originating from. Why? So that we don't end up suffering from foreign diseases. Our forefathers didn't have celiac disease, but now we have. Our children, a lot of mutation changes have happened. We've been importing wheat. We have been everything. Our biscuits, wheat, bread, wheat, swallow, wheat. Virtually everything is wheat. And celiac disease has come to stay. It has become a problem now. And we are now looking for solution, gluten-free diet. So let's talk about some indigenous foods. Let me introduce you to some foods that are grown here. Acha. I don't know if you've heard about that. Fonio. Finger millet. Red beans. Millet and guinea corn. Sometimes we just walk past. We see them, but we don't eat. Then unripe plantain, just few out of so many other foods that we grow here. Let me take each one. Grains. This acha grains, also called fonio or hungry rice, is a very nutritious grain. It's low in glycemic index, it's high in fiber, and guess what? is richer in protein than oats. We don't grow oats, we don't grow wheat, we import them. And this acha is a grain, and it has protein far much more than oat contains. It's also rich in vitamins and minerals. Let's see the next grain, finger millet. Have you heard about that? It's also called tamba. And guess what? It's considered to be a wonder grain because there are not so many grains or many foods that are rich in nutrients. This finger millet has what we call a very high satiety index. It's a grain. When it's in the flour form and you want to make it as pap, it swells, it's filling. And you know what? Finger millet originated from Africa, but it's now a staple in a place like India. Whereas Africa, where it grows, what do we have as our staple? Noodles, rice. Then what happens to foods like this? We've lost them. Finger millet is also rich in calcium. Calcium is a rare nutrient. It's a nutrient that you find mainly in dairies like milk, yogurts, and milk products. Interestingly, 1 cup of milk is going to give you 300 milligrams of calcium. 100-gram finger millet will give you 344 milligrams of calcium. All this while, I've been looking for plant sources of calcium for people who are lactose intolerant. And here, it's looking at us, we are looking at it in our own land. It's also rich in methionine and lysine for good skin, excellent skin. There are people who like to take this just for that benefit. And of course, it's high in fiber. Let's see the next food. Red beans. From the color, you will know that it's rich in protein, it's rich in iron, it's rich in folic acid, and of course, antioxidants. For people who even have arthritis, this is a solution. Why? Because it's very low in purine, which is something that makes arthritis very, very inconveniencing. Then we have millets and guinea corn, very nutritious food also. Very nutritious food, mostly neglected. The unripe plantain that my friend does not like to eat because it's black in color and it looks like a poor man's food. Dr. Eukeria, please, the next slide. Unripe plantain. This is very rich in fiber. Though it requires to be a protein plantain, there are some that have millet inside and even finger millet, which makes it an excellent swallow, far, far better than the refined ones that we eat. So I'm going to conclude now by saying that the quantity you eat is also very, very important. It's true that we are advising that we eat whole foods, natural foods. Still, we shouldn't overeat. It's very important. This is like the second to the last slide, but I had to include it for you to know that the healthy foods are recommended, but it shouldn't still be overeating. Too much of everything is bad. How much you eat depends on some factors like age. The older, the lesser we should eat because our metabolism is slower. The amount of food we need, of course, even activity level reduces. So the amount of food you need should reduce. Weight, BMI, the bigger, the lesser in quantity you should eat. The medical conditions, there are some medications. Yes, naturally, men need to eat more than women. So all things being equal, 2,000 calories is what we recommend. But if you need to gain weight, then you should eat more, about 2,500 to 3,000 calories. If you need to lose weight, you should eat less, about 1,500 calories. And in conclusion, the principle of nutrition says it all. We should learn to eat a variety of food, balanced by a moderate intake of each. We should learn to practice this. Variety is the key word here. So I have finished talking. There will now be need for other things for those who need to lose weight, who need to gain weight, or even need a diet plan to eat properly, the right amount of foods. That is now going to be a different ball game. Thank you for listening.
Wow.
Thank you.
Wow. So, guys, please, a round of applause for our lecturer.
Clap.
Audio one, right?
Audio clap. So I think we'll give. Hello?
Yeah.
So I think we will have time for questions now, so I can take that along. So if you look at your screen, you will see where they wrote reaction, where you have a reaction button. So if you click on it, you can tap the raise finger, and then we can call you up to ask your questions. So any question from anybody? Okay, so let's not waste it. If anybody has a question, okay. That is sorry. Why are they bringing down their hands? Okay, Lovett Azubike, please go on. Please make it very short. No lectures, please.
Okay, please, I want to know what's the name of that finger grain?
Sorry, the what?
Hello. The name of that finger grain. One.
Finger millet. It does not have, I don't know the Igbo name, but it's called tamba in Hausa. Okay. Then Indians call it ragi. Indians call it ragi. It's a staple there. So the finger millet is the English name.
So what are the possible ways of eating these grains?
Finger millet, you can process pap from it, and it's whole. So the pap made from that one is better from the pap. It's better than the pap we make from refined maize.
Okay.
Yes, then you can also swallow it. Then of course, Indians bake with it. That's like their flour. So they bake their chin-chin, they make virtually everything, their bread.
Okay. It's not as if we can eat them like rice.
But for those of us that are still trying to thank you, well, they actually eat it like rice there. But I don't know if we will like what it tastes like. They eat it as rice with stew. But for us, swallow, pap, and then baking with it like pancakes goes very well.
Is it possible for us to have the slice?
Okay, so okay, Lovett, let's move to other people so we can have more time. So Maximus, Obasi, please. Lovett, you need to mute your mic right away. Maximus, Obasi.
Thank you. I've unmuted it. All right. But
Sorry,
a bit offish from the presentation. Just a quick one. That is Mitchell. Something like
Oh, Maxi, we can't hear you. You're dragging. Yeah. Maxi, maybe you have to type it out, please. Maxi, we can't hear you. Maybe you need to type it out. Let me take another person. Obi Numeji. Kenneth Numeji.
Okay. Thanks, Michelle, for the presentation.
Thank you.
They are quite insightful and
does it have any?
Can you hear me, Chidume?
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. So straight to my question. The eating times, most of us, the kind of job we do require us to not to have our meals at the recommended or the normal time that do. You know, does that have any effect on our body as regards the time we eat the food? And then the second question is, some of us that don't have control of what we eat, not really, we don't have control. The food that are being served, they are not, we don't
have options.
How do I put it? We don't really decide the food that we are being served because of the kind of what we do. So what do you advise in that case? How do we augment to ensure that our food is balanced.
Okay, so what I understand now is you're not in control of your eating time, and you're also not in control of the options, the foods that you're presented, right? Is that what you're asking?
I think so.
Okay, so
I didn't hear the last part of your.
no, I'm trying to understand. I'm trying to understand your question properly now. If you're not in control of your eating time, let's say your dinner 7 to 8, you're taking dinner. If it's anything after that time, it's advised you take something very light, something that your system can digest, because your body is supposed to be resting at night, and that is when healing process actually occurs. So it's expected that by that time, digestion has stopped so that your body can now start healing. But if around 10 o'clock,
I can barely hear you.
Okay.
I don't know whether I'm lost to you. Can hear me, clearly?
Yes, I'm hearing her clearly. Very clearly.
Okay, so are you hearing me?
Yes, please.
Okay, maybe I
Hey, can you hear her?
I need to quickly log out again. It's breaking.
Okay, so what I'm saying is there are 3 things that you can do. If you're not in control of the time, you are expected to eat your dinner 8 o'clock, latest 9, so that your body can heal. If you cannot control that, if you have to be eating by 10 o'clock, then let it be something very light. Maybe a fruit salad, vegetables, or even a very, very easy to digest cereal, so that digestion can end and healing can start. If you are eating around 10, 11, and throughout the night, your body is still digesting food, that can actually result in aging. And you see somebody who is about 50, 60, looking far older than that. Why? Because of oxidative stress. The body has been working round the clock. So we need to give it time to rest, which is why a lot of people even encourage eating dinner by 7 p.m. latest, just so that your body can heal. Then, for the varieties that you are offered, you can request, you can write, you can push, you can suggest to say, can there be other healthier alternatives? Can we have other options of food apart from this, apart from what you are serving us? Because it's going to help a lot. So it's your responsibility to request, you can demand, you can suggest, you can just go around it to see that there are at least 1 or 2 or 3 other varieties, other options, healthier foods that you can eat.
Okay, sorry, Mitchell, I just logged in now. I logged off and then I think Ilya ran up. Please, can you just give me a summary of what he said, please?
Okay, I said that for the timing of food intake, the one that is most important is dinner. If you eat your breakfast late, no problem. If you eat your lunch late, no problem. But your dinner, we expect that you should have finished eating dinner 7, 8, latest 9. Why? So that healing can occur when you are sleeping. If your body is still digesting food by 11, 12, when will healing process occur? This can now result in what we call oxidative stress that can now result in aging, premature aging. So you don't want that to happen. It's better you eat early. And if you can't control that, if it's almost impossible for you to eat that early, then if you're going to eat by 10 o'clock, stick things that are digested easily. Easily digested food. You can just have cereal. You can just take fruit salad, top it up with yogurt, just something that your body can digest so that healing can occur.
Okay, Chidima.
Okay, and I don't see why they get YBI now. That's why I'm getting old. Okay, now.
Chidima Ike.
Yes, I'm here. I'm here.
Next after Chidima.
Hey, can I add to?
Oh boy, I have to ask question.
Yes, Chidima.
If you want to ask question, please use the raise hand button. I will call you. So Chidima Ike, we are waiting for you. Go ahead, please.
Okay, Mitchell. My question is this: it goes for our kids now that we do have a lot of packaged foods, for their snack time and their snack time. So we have packaged food like fruit, juice. These are packaged but not natural ones, and some snacks. What do you advise in this situation?
It's either you change or you stop giving them. It's best for them. So it's either you switch to natural fruit juice. You can squeeze your pineapple juice. Look for small bottles. There are 25 cl, even 20 cl bottles, new ones. Wash them. Put this pineapple juice inside. Put them in the freezer. It can even last 7 days. That is what I do. So in the morning before they go to school, you remove it from the freezer so that it won't be too cold for them. That is what you can do. And apart from these natural food juices, there are other beverages that we have that are nutritious. I don't know if you've heard about Kunu. It's made from these millets, these grains that we are talking about. These are nutritious. Even Zobo, you can make things like that for them. And you find out that they are getting healthy. You have to talk to them. Tell them that, look, this is why I am taking out this. What you should do is pick up the juice that you give to them. Go to the ingredient list, just read what you have there. I can assure you, you're going to read at least 4 things that you don't know about. You're going to see at least 4 things. These are what artificial things, additives, sodium benzoate especially. A lot of studies have shown that these things result in cancer. Now, there are some things we cannot control, like the pollution in the air. But then there are some things that we can control, which is the things that we allow them to eat. So let's switch, even the biscuits that we give them, you can switch to other snacks. I'd rather give them plantain chips. I know what plantain is, and I know they fry it inside oil. 2 ingredients. Then, of course, the salt. So plantain chips, potato chips, these are healthier things we can give to them.
Yeah.
So let's just switch.
Okay, so Maximus was asking before he went off. He said, is there a potential effect from drinking alcoholic beverages, such as beer?
Sorry,
did you get that?
Austin is laughing.
I knew he was going to come up with that question. You know what I'm saying?
Please spare us.
Now, I'm going to let you take that question.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, for alcohol,
okay, yes.
Yeah.
We have recommended intake for alcohol. Now, we advise that if you drink alcohol, then reduce the amounts to what is recommended. That way, it can even protect or prevent colon cancer in men. That is what alcohol can do for you. Now, the question you'll be asking is, what then is the moderate intake? What is the recommended amount of alcohol you should take in a day? I'm going to give you an instance. It is 2 drinks for men and 1 drink for women. Now, 1 drink is equivalent to a can of beer. Yes, that's a can of beer. So if you take 2 cans of beer, you have taken the safe amount. If it's wine, if it's wine you want to take, it's 150 ml that is recommended. So if you take 300 ml as a man, that is okay. As a woman, 150 ml. If it's shots, if it's spirits or whiskey or whatever, a shot is recommended, and a shot is about 30 ml. So if you take 60 ml for a man, then as a lady, 30 ml. So these are the recommended amount. What if you take on daily basis, it can even protect against colon cancer. So if you drink alcohol, take it within this range. If you don't drink alcohol, don't start just because of the benefits that we highlight.
Okay, Pakaru.
This one go out.
Let's hear Pakaru.
All right, Chidome, you got your answer. I can tell you. I'm telling you. You want to listen? Now you got your answer.
Chidome, have you had it now?
Please,
You got your
Chidima, you
answer,
shouldn't allow Dr.
You heard
Austin
it now,
to
right?
speak.
How much do you drink?
Okay. Okay, let's
I want
hear
to
from
ask
Pakaru.
something. I want to ask
Pakaru,
something.
please.
Assuming, no, wait, assuming in this issue of this drink now, assuming you decide not to drink for 3 days, then the 4th day you drink like 8 cans. Advisable. Okay,
We
continue.
usually hear that question a lot, but it doesn't work. It won't
doesn't
work
work that
now. What you're looking at now will be your kidney. You don't want to overwork your kidney. So that is the quantity your kidney can process on daily basis. You accumulate and take 8 drinks in a day. You are overworking your kidney.
Chidime is my friend. He will give me his own when the time comes.
Exactly. I'll donate. Pakaru, please. Let's hear from Pakaru. Remigius here.
Thank you, Mitchell, for this very useful presentation. Well appreciated. Please, my question is around salad. What do you recommend when it comes to healthy way of preparing salad? Over.
All right. Are you talking about
Did you hear me?
Yes, you're talking about salads, right?
Yes.
Okay, and I assume you're talking about vegetable salads because we have fruit salads and we have vegetable salad.
Yes, vegetable. Many a times it goes with the salad cream.
Yes.
And we have different types. Exactly. So my question is around what's the best way of preparing healthy vegetable salad, factoring in the use of salad cream. Over.
It actually depends on the that is prepared for someone that. Hello?
Yeah.
Can I talk?
Yes, go on.
Continue.
Okay.
Go on, please.
Yeah, so if you're preparing if the salad is supposed to be taken by someone who is underweight, that person needs calories. So we are going to advise you put cream as much as the person can take. It's okay. Why? Because we need fat deposit. If it is someone who is overweight that is taking the salad, then we advise you eat it without the cream. And if you must add, a teaspoon is enough. Maybe try baked beans or even avocado pear. So it all depends on the person eating it. If it's underweight, you need the cream. Overweight, then you can ditch the cream. Then of course, like the person who asked about dinner, if you're going to eat dinner late, you can actually take advantage of salads. So the vegetable salad can now be served with something like Irish potato. These are foods that the body can digest quickly, and there will still be time for healing to occur. So the salad can now be prepared with something like Irish potatoes or even sweet potatoes, just a little baked, boiled, and mixed with the salad, and it can sustain you for the night. So it depends on the person eating the salad.
Can I check out the doctor? Austin, Jocko, do you have something to say?
Yes, sir. Whatever.
Take Everton, man. I talk.
Austin, we are waiting for you.
Bye.
Austin, you are mute. You are mute, Austin.
Okay. Can you hear me now, though?
Yeah.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay. No, what I was actually to the first question Umeji asked you regarding. By the way, excellent presentation. I was trying to touch on a little bit on the first question he asked you regarding when you can stop eating and also your choices. So I remember I took a nutrition class long time ago. During that time, it was mentioned to me that you can eat 6 small meals a day. So it doesn't really matter when you eat, but as long as it's all small meals you can eat. So So when you stop eating at 8 p.m., like you said, 8, usually myself, I don't eat like, big meals after 6, 7, because what you said, makes sense. But now, but that, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Now, so let's say, like in some, like in industrialized, countries, where people work at night, like, people who work, 7 p.m. to 7 a.m. shifts, like especially like nurses or whatnot. So how would you account for them, eating at night during the night, when they are awake, as opposed to, when they're not awake in the morning, like when they basically sleeping in the daytime. So how would you balance that? Because I think, that kind of goes into the notion, like I was mentioning, that I think you can eat any time of the day, but it has to be like, 6 small meals. So I don't know, is that the same thing that still, goes, or this is something, different altogether? Then that's his first question. The second one is, now, I think Umeji did touch about, the choice of food. Like what he said was right. Like, whenever I go to Nigeria, it is always hard to try to find, non-starch. Hey, there's a lot of, background noise. What's going on?
Yeah, I muted him. Is it Ibemo?
Ibemo, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so there's a lot of, like, you can start with a lot of starchy food, whenever you come out, it's either rice, yam, gari, fufu or whatnot. So there's a lot of variety. So I think the choices, people make, depends on what you want and how much you can afford. So if you want fish, which is, there's plentiful of it in Nigeria as well. So it all depends on what you can afford. So, but because of that culture, most of the food that being, served is always, starchy, which you can, come to see. So now the first question, I don't want to, go to forward with this. So how would you account for people, let's say people who work at night? So would they just get hungry for the whole night because of, you can't eat after 8? Or would they just, go with the fact that, you can at least eat 6 more meals a day and still be able to function?
Oh, well, actually,
so that's it.
We recommend 6 meals a day.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, are you with me? When we recommend 6 meals a day, it's actually during the day, not at night. And let me give you an instance of what we mean by 6 meals. If you eat breakfast by 7 o'clock in the morning, or let's say 7 to 8, then the second meal is supposed to be a snack around 10 o'clock, then another meal, 1 to 2, then another by 4, another by 7, then 8, 9, the bedtime snack. So this is what we mean. This is what we're talking about, 6 more meals. But for someone who works at night, that will require some brain thinking. Yeah, because it just simply means that there is a change in the natural biological clock. Yes. Are you getting my point?
Yeah.
There is a change. So number one is it should be compensated for very well, because it has its health implications. Because something that is natural, that is biological, that is basically nothing you can do to change that. It's just like you can't make your age. You can't choose to be 40 instead of 42 years old. All right. So for that, it should just be compensated for. Then what you can do is still eat during the day. Let your eating time be during the day. Then when you go to work and you're going to stay awake, if you must take something, then let it be fluids. Let it be fluids diet. See, that would be best.
But it's not going to be possible to do that in the daytime, though. But it wouldn't be possible to do that in the daytime, like 12 hours. And then you are awake a whole night. And when you come home, and basically by 9 o'clock, you already hitting the sack. So what I'm saying is, while you're sleeping, how would you be able to, consume, food while you're actually sleeping? You know what I mean? So, because it's the same way that when you sleep at night.
I understand what you're saying here. You're going to really need, so we don't take a lot of time. You will need to discuss this properly. I need to understand your eating pattern. I need to know what you eat, and we can draw up something that can work. We can now decide to place you on 2 meals a day. You can have 2 important meals. Then your in-betweens can be things that are easy to digest and nourishing. For you, what can work for you with just 2 meals a day? Instead of 6, so that there won't be too much digestion going on and healing not taking place.
Okay.
You understand?
Hello, Echo. Wait.
I have a question.
Okay, Chijokibe, please.
Yeah, good afternoon, everybody.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, thank you so much, Ms. Presenter, and everybody present. Yeah, I think Gus and Joker just asked my question, because that's what I wanted to point out. And in addition to that, what I want to say now, what I want to ask or say is this. So if if you have to sleep in the night for healing to take place, so for those of us, because there are a lot of people are on different activities, and is it possible if what we need for healing to take place is sleeping? So for those that are working in the night, are you saying that maybe because apparently it's as if they've turned their own day to night and night into day.
Yes,
is it that maybe after eating, is it that after eating, you have to go to sleep for those healing to take place? Or because I know, or do you need that darkness to be able to sleep or to be able for this healing to take place? And if we really need those darkness, I know one can as well maybe produce darkness. It's just like maybe go inside your room, put off all the lights and make sure you have enough darkness to be able to sleep. Because the way, like if you're in the Western world, there are people that due to their own activities, maybe they do one thing, maybe go to school in the day or work in the night. That's how it's been programmed. That is one. Another question I have is this, because I know sometimes due to my own program and all those things, there are times I don't even have time to eat. There are sometimes I eat once. Maybe I'm coming from school, I have to go to work. I have that food, I don't even have time to eat. So the time when I have time to eat, should I eat enough food to sustain me throughout the day, or I should still eat that little quantity of food? Thank you so much.
You should eat enough to sustain you for the day. Then you should also have things you can snack on, especially in fluid form. So eat for the day. And for you will need to be on good supplements. I don't recommend any brand. Just go to a pharmacist, tell them your condition. So you might not be able to obtain the vitamins, the minerals that you need from food. So that whenever you have opportunity to eat, you're going to eat something that will sustain you for the day. Then supplements to help boost your immunity. Then of course, fruits and vegetable smoothies that you can just take even while you're driving. You can have a bottle beside you. As you're sipping them, you're going to be helping your system. So that even if it's 1 meal a day you take as source of energy, it can sustain you.
Okay.
Okay, I have a question, Chinwe.
Okay, Emeka, go on.
Yeah. My question is this. There is this thing going on about red meat. So, when I look at people doing like what they call keto diet, in that you eat a lot of meat. Okay. In another argument, they say red meat is not good. So I want you to say something about it.
Is it something about keto diet or about red meat?
But can you relate two of them?
All right, now, meat is okay. We have recommended amounts for virtually everything. There is an RDA, it's called recommended daily allowance. Meat is rich in protein, is rich in iron. Though we advise that you go for the lean meat without excess fat. That is okay. And of course, there is a portion control. About 90 grams a day is what we recommend. 90 grams, you can estimate that with a deck of cards. Not more than that, or a chicken lap. That is what we recommend. Then for keto diet, I don't recommend keto diet. There are some dietitians that do. There are some doctors that recommend, but I don't. And I have my reasons. Protein. is important in the body, but too much protein can actually result in a kidney damage. It can result in a kidney breakdown. There is a safe amount of protein that the body requires. There is even a calculation you can do, and you will know how much protein your body needs. All you need to do is to punch 0.8 times your weight, and you will know the amount of protein you should eat. Anything more than that simply means you're overworking your kidney, and you don't want a kidney breakdown. That is number one. Number two is they are staying away from carbohydrates because they want to lose weight. Yes, ketogenesis actually results in weight loss. Why? Because the body is desperate. It's now at a desperate state. And so it's ready to do anything to give the brain some glucose. So it's going to break down the fat and you will lose weight. But we have forgotten that another function of carbohydrate is not just to give us energy, but to spare protein from being used. So we want to spare protein in our body. Most of our organs, our livers, our kidneys, our bloods, most of them are made up of protein. So in the absence of that carbohydrate, the body can start breaking down those parts of the body. There are many people that have ended up with complications because of ketogenic diet. And I would even say it is safer with a lot of fat. Okay, so I don't know if I answered your question.
Yeah, that's fine. I'm fine.
All right.
Okay, do we have any other question? This last one is very interesting. Why we should continue to consult people who are in this profession. You know, like I always say in my own dictionary that what I don't know, I don't do. I must consult a professional. So you can see in the bid to lose weight, you end up chopping your liver and your kidney as part of what you need. So it's interesting. So we're running out of time, but I just want to ask, just to make sure that everybody is carried along. Is there anybody who wants to ask another question? You know, so we just have 2 more minutes for that. You know, think about it. You know, ask your question. And of course, this is like, I'm sure the expert is giving us just a tip of the iceberg. And the way it works, you can't get everything here. So Prof will definitely be the link person between us and her. And so you can then contact her to have a personal plan. Okay, Chidima, go ahead, please.
Okay, I'm here again.
All right.
Please, Mitchell, I want to ask another question. It's about sugar and honey.
Okay.
Yeah. Like some people say honey is better than sugar.
Mm.
And I read somewhere that honey will still, over time, honey will even do what sugar can do to you. I don't know. I want to know the truth.
Yeah, that is actually true. Honey, the end product of honey in the body is what? Is still sugar. The end product of sugar in the body is what? Is still sugar. So what I advise is moderation is key. If for men, we advise that you don't take more than 5 cubes of sugar a day. And the equivalent for honey is 5 teaspoons a day. For ladies, we recommend 3 to 4 cubes of sugar a day. The equivalent for honey is 3 to 4 teaspoons. So they are almost the same thing. Some would argue that honey is natural. And I tell them, yes, sugarcane too is natural. Did it fall down from heaven? No, it's from sugarcane. So all of them are their end product, sugar, sucrose. So moderation is just key. If you want to sweeten your food, a little of honey. If you prefer sugar, a little sugar, and it's fine. Don't overeat. Now, the problem is most of our refined foods, I know some people who say they don't take sugar, and I just laugh. They don't take sugar, but they take soft drinks. Now, the soft drinks, the manufacturer has already put sugar for you inside. Sometimes 10 cubes of sugar. And you say, I don't take sugar. I don't add sugar to my food. Some would even say, these natural foods, the reason I don't like them is because they are not sweet, but you eat bread. And you think the manufacturer made that bread without adding sugar. They put sugar inside so that you eat it and like it. So instead of avoiding sugar completely, why not take it within the safe level? If you're taking something natural, sweeten it. 3 cubes of sugar, that would be harmful. I have diabetics that I plan diet for. I include sugar in their diet, and they still achieve control. So long as they don't overeat the carbohydrates in a day, they still achieve control. So moderation, like the principle, moderation is key.
All right, thank you.
Chinedu, this might be our last question. Chinedu, unmute your mic here.
Yeah, can you all hear me?
Yeah,
I can hear you.
Okay. All right. I'm sorry. I'm at work, so I probably won't be very loud. Thank you all so much for this noble initiative, and I hope we'll be able to sustain this. I like that we're not just on the forum cracking jokes, but this is something that will help us and they help everybody benefit. I have a quick question. This is stemming from the question Pakadru asked regards to addition of salad cream and all that for the diet in salads. Now she did indicate something about people being overweight and underweight. I need a little bit of clarity with regards to what you mean by underweight and overweight. If you clarify that a little bit for us, thank you. Did you get my question?
Okay. We have something called BMI. Yes, I heard your question about underweight and being overweight. Everybody, right. we have the right weight for our height. We all have the right weight for our height. If you weigh more than you should, it's going to be a burden on your muscles, and even your immunity will be very poor. And body internally strong. So the tool we use to determine that is what we call BMI. You can check the internet, you're going to see BMI. So for those who are underweight, the BMI is less than 18.4. So they will need to eat more. They will need to things to their salad. They need to, for those who are overweight, who are weighing more than they should, they need to lose weight. So they are going to cut down on fatty foods, salad cream. Hello?
We can hear you.
Hold on, please.
Okay, yes. So BMI is what you can use to determine if you're overweight or underweight.
Obinumeji, you raised your hand. Do you still want to say anything?
Yeah, I think the
yes,
BMI. Okay.
Obinumeji, final.
I think I'm having serious network connectivity problems. I didn't hear the Ikwemo's question and her response. Can you hear me, Chidume?
Yes, very well.
We can hear you.
Okay, maybe I will contact Losty. I'm having a network issue. I don't know what's happening.
We'll take offline. Okay.
So I didn't hear what she said last. I didn't hear
you can tell the presenter to elaborate more on BMI. That's body mass index. That's how you calculate that overweight, underweight, and all those stuff. I think it has to do with your weight over height, squared or something like that. I think it's something everybody can calculate yourself for himself. If you know your weight and your height, it's pretty much easy for you to calculate your BMI. And there is just as you said, there is an index. There is, I think, if you're less than 18 point something on, I think that means you're underweight. If you're around 24, that's the appropriate weight. And if you're more than, I think, 35 or whatever.
You're more than 25.
If you're more than 30, you're overweight.
Yeah, more than 30 and all those things. And,
But but how can you count? How can you count for the BMI of someone who is very lean though? Because you know the muscle weighs more than fat. So if you lose a lot of fat, hold on, can you hear me?
Yes, Austin.
Yeah. So how can you account for the BMI, a proper BMI in a patient, in someone who's very lean, who has more muscular, because muscle weighs more than fat. So that's gonna, I mean, that person's the body fat in the percent body fat composition will probably be like, let's say somebody like Ronaldo, Cristiano Ronaldo, his body fat composition like less than 5%. So if you go by his BMI, he's more lean, so he's gonna be off. So you're gonna put him in the overweight category. So that's why they were saying BMI is not really a proper surrogate to measure your proper weight you're supposed to be at, because it doesn't account for someone who's very lean, who can if you do his BMI, he's gonna be overweight. So I mean, it's a poor man's index just to see where you need to be at, but it's not very accurate though.
Yes, there are people that there are people we don't use BMI for. Exactly. For children, for pregnant women, for elderly people, and muscle builders. They are exempted from the use of BMI. Right. But every other person, every other normal person, BMI is just an excellent indicator. Yeah. Children are still growing, so you can't use their height.
Right. So don't give me BMI then, so that's what I'm trying to say. I
don't think it's a matter of don't give you BMI. I think it's a matter of like what she just explained to you now. Like the case of Cristiano Ronaldo and others, these are kind of
muscle builders, sportsmen.
Exactly.
What of Messi? Messi will be underweight.
Well, he'll be underweight. We are not just we are kind of like the general public. Cristiano Ronaldo, these are guys that due to the work they must go to the gym and make sure that they are fit and all those things. But the general
I'm not just using Cristiano Ronaldo.
Guys, it's
okay.
I know,
but as long as he was able to explain this to us,
we are pressed for time. Yeah. It's okay. We are pressed for time. We can talk Messi and Ronaldo later. Okay.
I don't say
because I didn't use Messi. Because I didn't use Messi, that's why he wants to argue now.
Yes, I know.
We know already. We know those ones
already. We've had very great question and answers here. So this time, I just want to again say clearly that we've gotten a read today by the lecturer.
Oh, definitely.
So what is more important for us now is to imbibe this going forward. And there's no better way to do it than to get a professional to work with. So she's here in our midst. So we can contact through Prof and get her contact. I am the first person that will do that. So I can have a proper, diet plan going forward. I want to live up to 80. So I want to call on Pakaru to give us a vote of thanks, and then we can call it a day. Pakaru, please. In the absence of any other question, which I know we've exhausted.
It's my pleasure to deliver the vote of thanks for this wonderful learning event. Let me thank God who has made this possible for us to gather today. And beyond what God has done, to thank the wonderful lecturer we've had today, Michelle. Michelle, thank you so much for all you've done tonight. We are so grateful. To the organizers, you've done a great job. We look forward to a thing like this more and more going forward. And to you wonderful classmates that have taken out time to participate tonight. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
Lastly, I want to leave us with these two quotes. The first one is, we should eat to live and not live to eat. The other one is this: we should eat our food as medicine so that we don't end up taking medicine as food. And with this, I will say again, thank you very much.